Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video I'm going to look at this. This is The Mist from 2007. It's a wonderful film, full of atmosphere, and I don't know why I haven't seen this before now. It's such a good film. I really enjoyed it. It's maybe got some old-fashioned kind of feel to it, and it's brilliant. Now, Rotten Tomatoes give it 73%, which is fairly good, but there are quite a bit of hostility about this film as well. It's 126 minutes long. Never seems too long to me. You get so absorbed in the characters and the action, everything going on. Now, it's based on a story by Stephen King called The Mist from 1980, which was from the In the Darkness anthology. And it's written and directed by Frank Darabont. I think that's it. He was also a writer as well. For instance, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warrior, the third one, 1987. He wrote that. He wrote The Blob, 1988. The Fly 2, 1989. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, 1994. Those were some that he wrote, but he also wrote and directed, now this is the big one, and there's a connection, The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. 1994 that film was, yes. And it was a Stephen King story. And he wrote and directed it. Wow. Also, again, and The Green Mile, 1999. He wrote this screen adaptation and directed that one. Wow, so we've got a big Stephen King connection. He's quite a fondness for Stephen King. It's interesting as well that he wanted to film this in black and white, but he was, well, they persuaded him, obviously, to film it in colour. But we do get a black and white version, which is great. He thought it would suit this film really well, and that was his vision. And he rather liked seeing the black and white version. The music is by Mark Hisham. He's quite a prolific composer. I know him. He worked with Van Morrison, David Sylvian, and Andy Summers. It's quite a good score as well, full of atmosphere. The location is at Shreveport. I think that I've probably got that wrong. It's pronounced as Shreveport, which is in Louisiana. A great location again on this. And over 100 extras were used in this film. So I can see why there's various scenes. There's quite a lot of extras used. Okay, so let's get into the cast. Now, it stars Thomas Jane, who plays David Drayton. He's known for Buffy the Vampire Slayer film, 1992, Face Off, 1997, Deep Blue Sea, 1999, Dreamcatcher, 2003, which I think is another Stephen King story. And of course, I think many people know him as The Punisher from 2004. And lots of other films, but those are ones that I've just highlighted. Then we've got Marcia Gay Harden, who plays Mrs. Commody. She's kind of the religious fanatic in this film. She was in Miller's Crossing, 1990. The First Wives Club, 1996. Spy Hard, yes, 1996. She was in Flubber, 1997. That's a Robin Williams, isn't it, film? Meet Joe Black, 1998. That's an interesting film as well. She was in Bad News Bears, 2005. Parkland, 2013. 50 Shades of Grey, 2015. And I think there's a follow-up, 50 Shades of Darker or whatever, 2017. No, nobody seems to have a great opinion about those two films, do they? Anyhow, we've got Laurie Alden, who plays Amanda Dufresne. She was in The Majestic, 2001. She was in Fantastic Four, 2005. She was in Silent Hill, as popular, 2006. And Dragged Across Concrete, 2018. Then we've got Andre Braga, who plays Brent Norton. He was in Glory, great film, that, 1989. Frequency, another brilliant film, 2000. Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, 2007, not everybody's cup of tea. And She Said 2022, which is about the producers of this film. Yes, that's all the scandal surrounding the Weinsteins. Yes, there's all that going on. It's interesting because they produced this film. Then we've got Toby Jones, who plays Ollie Weeks. Toby Jones is one of those faces that we love in this country. He's a great actor for the UK. He pops up in everything. He's got a film career, but he's also got a massive television career, and he's in so many things. Just a few to point out. He was in Frost v. Nixon, 2008. He was in Captain America, The First Avenger, 2011. He was in Captain America, The Winter Soldier, 2014. He was in the remake of Dad's Army, 2015. I know he played Captain Mannering. But unfortunately, it didn't really work that well. But he was in that. He was in Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, 2018. But he's been in so many things on TV. And this year he was in the one about the post office scandal, which was a massive, and it made itself into the mainstream news. He was in that one. Then we've got William Sadler, who plays Jim Grondin. Jim Grondin, what a name that is. He was in Die Hard 2, 1990. Shawshank Redemption, 1994. See, it pops up again. He was in Solo, 1996. Star Wars spin-off, isn't it? And he, of course, he was in The Green Mile. What a brilliant film, 1999. Iron Man 3, 2013. The Unholy, 2021. And also She Came from the Woods, 2022. I love that title, don't you? You've got to love the title. And I'm just going through these. I think these are the sort of main characters, but there is a lot. It's a very big cast, so I've just highlighted those characters in this. So what is this about? Well, at the beginning we see this thunderstorm comes and it causes quite a lot of devastation. We're in the small town of Bridgeton, which is in Maine, as everything is in Maine, connected with Stephen King. And the power's been down, and these two neighbours come together. They not get on that well at all normally. There's quite a rivalry almost between them. They don't really get on, but they agree that they'll sort this out, and they'll go into town together. They go to get some supplies, get things going again, and they end up in this supermarket. And also there's quite a few other town people getting their supplies after this storm with that. But what we see, and he's mentioned right at the beginning as well, is that there's this mist that they see approaching over the lake. I think it's a lake. And then, of course, When they're inside with all the other people, suddenly this mist envelops everything. It comes over, and this mist is dangerous because if anybody goes in it, well, we see um, that they're going to end up dead, basically. And of course, as the story develops, we see that there are these creatures in the mist, and it's how is everybody going to survive? But of course, what is interesting inside is we get to know these characters all put together for various reasons. And rather interestingly, we start to get two sides emerge. Those who are kind of struck by the religious fanaticism of one character and she gets them on board, and then those that are not. And this is a fascinating thing, especially as people start dying and attempting and to get out and failing. And in the end, this is what makes this film so good. We get a look at religious fanaticism. Who would have believed that? But we do. So here we have a creature feature, and then we end up with a film also looking at religious fanaticism. And that is absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I love it when we get that kind of thing, because the arguments, and to be fair, the actors really do a good job in this. We get to know them a bit as well. They're not just ciphers. They kind of become three-dimensional characters, even with sometimes not a great deal of dialogue. But the ones we do see are absolutely spot on. And Marcia Gay Harden, who plays the religious fanatic leader, the woman who's standing up, is absolutely brilliant. I think she's great in the role. Really, she really is. As a character, and everybody responds brilliantly around her and against her, and I think it works so well. This story, it leaves you really wondering what on earth's going to happen. Unfortunately, I did have an idea about the ending because people have kind of leaked it out, but it didn't spoil it at all. It's a dramatic ending. It's the kind of ending, and you go, "What? Oh, it's devastating." The ending. I'm not going to say why or what have you, but it is. It's a devastating ending. And I can see now why people have mentioned this ending a lot, because I knew it was coming, but I wasn't quite sure. I had an idea, but wow, it's just a brilliant ending and to a brilliant film. And sometimes Stephen King's stories have been criticized in various forms, but I generally think a lot of the adaptations are always good, even those that maybe not quite so famous, not quite as well known. Generally, you get an enjoyable story, and this is one of them. There has been ones that maybe not been as good, but generally the quality is good, and this is up there with a good Stephen King story. It really is. Some people may not agree with me on that, but I think it builds up the tension wonderfully. And I think the ending it's so tragic, the ending, and wonderful at the same time, because it doing that to us, going, oh, yeah, it's one you'll never ever forget. And what can I say about this film? Highly recommended. If you've not seen this film, go and watch it, because it's worth it. I'll just show you. There it is. Look at that. Wonderful. And there's the back there. And it's a 2-disc edition because they've put in the black and white version. So there we've got the colour version there. And then we've got the black and white version. The second disc here. Absolutely wonderful. What can I say? It's just absolutely wonderful. Absolutely love it. What can I say? That's it. Now, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and then we'll let you know when I put out all these videos. It gets onto algorithms on YouTube, and hopefully more people might enjoy it. And if you like this video, please give this video a like, because that helps it get out as well onto YouTube. Really, if you've got any comments too, put some comments down. I love to read your comments, and I'll always reply to them. And that's it. Yes. So, all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.